Welcome to UK theme parks, welcome to Florida. We are on tour for November. We are not in the UK for Halloween, we are actually in Orlando. Now then, our first vlog today comes from Halloween Horror Nights. So I'll warn you now that if you're not a Halloween person, although we won't be taking you in mazes, we're not at some kind of special press event or anything, we're normal paying guests, there will be other things that, you know, might be of a scary nature, particularly with scare zones and things. So we'll get that out the way early. It is the beginning of October. We've come out to Orlando, although it's November now that you'll be seeing this. This is vlog number 1 in our Florida experience. If you don't want to see the Halloween Horror Nights, wait till tomorrow, and our Universal Studios one is our next stop. So, Halloween Horror Nights, we have been before. We never filmed before, because we came back in 2014, really before the channel sort of kicked off with vlogging. And back then it was Halloween we came for, as in the movie Halloween, Alien vs Predator was on there. This year the highlight ones are The Last of Us, Stranger Things and Exorcist. There's 10 or 11 mazes plus 3 or 4 scare zones, and we're going to be experiencing the mazes and giving you our thoughts on them one by one. Now we've been really good with this, because although we've seen a couple of things online, as in people saying, oh, you know, this one's quite good, etc, etc, we haven't watched any of the press night videos from some of the big YouTubers that obviously are in Orlando. We've avoided it, so we don't know. We know that people don't particularly like the IP ones as a general rule, and that things like Dueling Dragons, YETI, and one of the other ones at the top end as well have been getting really good reviews. So we're interested to see. So yeah, we're going to do them one by one, starting with The Exorcist shortly, and then we're going to kind of move around the park. We will tell you which one we're doing just before we go in, because once we're in there, we have to sort of put the camera away. Now then, to come in for the evening was $67.99, that's dollars, and we have paid for fast track as well, because it is absolutely heaving here. So we bought fast track in advance at $189. It's not cheap. However, I just don't think that you'd get on every single maze if you didn't. It's open from 6 PM till 2 AM. 6 till 2, you've got 8 hours. There are selected rides open as well. I'm not 100% sure which ones they are, but we believe things like Rip Ride Rocket, likely the new Minion Blast will be open as well. So yeah, quite a long intro, but welcome to Florida, welcome to Halloween Horror Nights. We're going to show you everything the event has to offer and give you our reviews as we go. Now our first maze is going to be The Exorcist Believer. I haven't seen the new film, however I'm pretty sure we'll be able to pick up sort of similar things from the older film in there. It's a remake, it's sort of, you know, based on a lot of it. It's got a 50-minute wait at the moment. With fast track we should get in there quite quickly. So we're going to head that, and then we'll walk you around. I think the next maze is sort of down there. And we're certainly looking for Dueling Dragons and Stranger Things, which I believe are both around this area. That is the queue for The Exorcist that you see there. Fortunately, you don't have to stand in there. We head round the back and we've pretty much got straight in, and you come out down the bottom here, which I think is also the exit to Stranger Things just by listening to the music. That's what I have to kind of guess, because it's playing Run Down the Hill as you come out. Now then, I thought that was brilliant. One thing I'm just going to say, and I'm sure you've seen this, I've seen some people make dedicated videos on this, we don't need to. It's very different to the UK events. The UK events are all based on small groups going in, lots of jump scares, really distinctly average scenery. I know some people think there's some really decent themed attractions in the UK. There's really not. There's some average themed ones in comparison to what's here. Here is very different. You literally it's a carry on walking. You join the queue, you just carry on walking through. You never stop. There's no breaks in between people. And really it's about detail, and the detail, it's like we're at a movie studio, so as you can imagine it's movie studio detail, and it is spectacular. It really is on a different level to anything you'll see in the UK, and I'll put money on that. But Exorcist actually had a few jump scares, to be honest with you, and what I like is obviously when you're using you know, characters, if you will, from the film, like little girl in there, they tend to keep the same sort of actress as you go through, so they all look very similar, so it's really sort of, you know, coherent as you go through the maze. I haven't seen the new film yet, so I'm not 100% sure exactly how it looks. However, with the shots you can see from it there, a lot of these scenes that you're seeing on there are replicated inside. There's a few jump scares, there's a few good looking ones. you know, bedroom scene in particular in there, people hiding behind doors and things. So even with a long stream of people, if you don't see it before you enter the room, there is an opportunity for a jump scare. So yeah, 1 or 2 jump scares in there. Looks spectacular, it really does. Probably can't appreciate it quite enough because I haven't seen the movie, but really enjoyed that. That's a great opening maze. Right, Dueling Dragons is next, so let's head down to Dueling Dragons.
The crew are heading in for the YETI, which opens at 6, but our next stop is going to be Dueling Dragons. I heard really good things about Dueling Dragons as well, really good things, so looking forward to this one. It's going to be a dragon one actually, we'll let you know when we get out, but as far as we're aware, this one's already opened.
So it was the Dueling Dragons people going in. I heard loads and loads of good things, and I'll tell you what, that's why you shouldn't really read the reviews and things. As we said, we didn't look at any of the mazes, read any reviews or anything before coming in. And it's a good job too, because, you know, in watching them, I think it would have ruined it. We'd heard from a lot of people they love Dueling Dragons, they thought it was brilliant, things like the Exorcist they didn't like. You know, Dueling Dragons there it's a bit, I don't know, it's a nod to, I imagine it's a nod to the old attraction, obviously, and you kind of choose your fate at the end, if you go to the blue dragon or the red dragon. There's some lovely lighting effects in there, there really are. I don't particularly think the costumes were fantastic, if I'm being honest. For me, no jump scares at all, but for some there was. Yeah, the scenery's nice, the sets are nice, it didn't feel as detailed as the Exorcist. It didn't feel as easy to follow either, to be honest. I'm still, you know, you're trying to read what the story is. There's like little pages laid out, trying to read what the story is. I think there's a lot there to take in such a short period of time. So yeah, it's not a bad maze, but I think the Exorcist was streets ahead, and honestly, streets ahead. Right, we're now gonna, I don't even know where we come out, but we're gonna try and find the next maze. I'm not even gonna promise what the next maze is, because quite honestly, I just don't know which line goes where. You've kind of got 3 or 4 mazes in the same area, so it's really difficult to tell. I think that's Stranger Things. I think. And that's got a 120-minute queue at the moment. Right, now coming out of Dueling Dragons, it's a little bit disappointing to be fair after Exorcist, and we again read so much about it. It's a 140-minute wait for Stranger Things, which is based on season 4. So we've got fast track, let's go in and see how long it takes. Wow, just well. So we've just come out of Stranger Things down here before going into the YETI, which is next. I've watched all the Stranger Things, I'm a massive fan of Stranger Things, and I'll tell you, it is incredible detail in there. So based on season 4, you can imagine sort of what sets you're getting. You walk through the caravan scene first, telling Chrissy to wake up as you kind of move in. Memorable scenes along the way, because you know you're walking through sort of the upside down world and then mix back. You enter the trailer scene with the upside down world with the normal world above you, and it's just a hole in the roof as you look through. From there you move into the bedroom scene, the attic scene, where obviously Max is levitating, and you know the person that's been after her is decimated. It's quite brutal, to be honest. The scenes are quite brutal. The lighting is fantastic in there. The lighting is really good. You then sort of move into the upside down world, and it's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. You move into sort of Vecna's lair. There's obviously live actors in there. No, there's one scare for me in there. They do use Eleven twice. They use her in the labs as a lab scene as you walk through. And honestly, it's like a spitting image. It's incredible what they do with these actresses. And she's fighting number 1 at the same time as you sort of battle through. And then you see her at the end as well up against Vecna. You know, it's just incredible. The detail is fantastic. And again, we've not heard great things about these mazes. The most memorable scene is Eddie and Dustin standing there fighting off sort of the flying things with their guitars and things. There's an absolute massive video screen at the back, and they're standing there with guitars fighting off. And again, the actors look superb, they really do. And then as you walk around the corner before you go into the final scene, you've got Eddie there being eaten by one of them. So yeah, it does come to it. It's sort of a gruesome end. It follows it perfectly. Honestly, it follows it perfectly. I'd like to have seen a bit more of the graveyard scene. I won't lie to you there. The graveyard scene with Max in, you know, high in the air would be brilliant. But I love it. Absolutely loved it. My favourite out of the 3 so far. Followed by Exorcist, followed by Dueling Dragons, which, to be quite honest, I didn't really enjoy. Now then, the next one is going to be YETI Campground Kills, and this is a 45-minute wait, so let's go see what this one's about. Never let it be said these events aren't popular, because my god, people as far as you can see them. So that was YETI, I have to say. That one, funny enough, after we said that they're not mainly focused on jump scares around here, that was a more jump scary maze. The best way of looking at it, because when I thought sort of YETI, you might naturally think sort of snow and things like that. Think more Bigfoot, to be honest. It's very Bigfooty, in the woods, people getting sort of mauled and murdered, and you walk through various cabins, various outdoor scenes, and meet lots of Bigfoot Yetis along the way. And I'll tell you now, it is very jump scare focused, much more actually than anything I've been on before here. We have been on mazes here before, including the ones we've been on today. There's a few in there. There was a couple of jump scares in there. It's still not to what we expect in the UK so much, but that was really, really good. Now, as you can see, this is the music festival scene. Look at that. So all this is all blocked off during the day. No one can see it, but as you walk through the scare areas, you get more on. So yeah, massive thumbs up for YETI. For me, that probably sits in second place because I appreciate the jumps a little bit more. Appreciate the jumps a little bit more, which perhaps we didn't get in the Exorcist. Exorcist is still better themed, but I absolutely love this. I mean, this is the kind of thing you come for, isn't it? And it's just Roman actors everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So yeah, this is the music festival area, which we're kind of having to pass through to go to our next maze, which I think will be Chucky, I think. Yeah, love that, love the SE, loves it. All sort of natural wood. Again, really claustrophobic. One thing I will say as well, and you notice this from all of the mazes, is that they are very dark. I know it sounds silly, but they're very dark. So when you get an actor pop out or a jump scare or a scene, the lighting happens at the same time. So you'll get a strobe at the same time. I think again, whilst we have triggers in the UK, and you do see a lot of actors do the triggers as you go, here is just so much more slick in the way it's run. Really is quite incredible. But yeah, YETI, really enjoyed that, really enjoyed that. 3 brilliant mazes and 1 so far, but on we go. Now it's Dr. Oddfellows actually that we've read good things about, and Last of Us obviously one of the most popular ones. That was on like a 100-minute queue. That was 135 for Stranger Things earlier. So we're now 45-minute wait for Chucky, and that's our next stop. Of course we do have fast track, so let's see how long it takes. YETI took about 10 minutes. We're a 45-minute queue. I'll take that any day of the week. Now I like Chucky. I grew up with Chucky. It was one of my sort of, must have been a 90s film, 80s film maybe, I don't know. 80s film, so yeah, I was all over it. Can't wait for this. Now normally it's no point in showing you much because we're not using the camera inside. However, the queue is actually inside Fast and the Furious, or Too Fast, Too Furious, whatever it's called to be honest with you. And they are advertising Chucky as we walk through. But yeah, we just skipped a lot there. I reckon there's about 30 people in front of us. And you said Chucky wouldn't be 7 foot. What do you know? There's a 7-foot Chucky. She said there won't be a 7-foot Chucky. I went, yeah there will. And there's a 7-foot Chucky. I can't wait for this. Right, new season of Chucky coming. Right. That's Chucky. That was hilarious, to be honest with you. It's not what I would call particularly scary, a little bit more gruesome to be fair, and it's basically just walking through seeing how many ways that Chucky can kill people with various things like pickaxes and electric and bombs and all kinds of things like that. It is broken up actually quite nicely in the middle. I thought it was going to be quite short at first, as you do walk outside and go through the Chucky kill count sort of thing and then go back in. The highlight for me is obviously the 7-foot Chucky. He was in there. Not only was he in there at the end with a chainsaw. 7-foot Chucky with a chainsaw after I was assured that he didn't exist. Yeah, that's right, he does exist. But that was, yeah, that was funny. I really enjoyed that. In terms of scare factor, there's no scare factor for me in there. There was a couple of potential jump scare moments, not for me personally, but for someone who wasn't paying attention in front of us. It was absolutely hilarious. Right, this is Shipyard 32. Now we're going to get some pictures and things later when it gets a bit darker, but just look at these, look. Always got respect for the people that can do this. Oh, I love it. So yeah, little scare zones as you go around, you kind of have to go through them really in order to get to the next maze. But it does look cool, some of the efforts they put in, and again at night when the smoke comes out and the lights really come on, this is going to be really special. We don't get killed between now and then. Look at this, look. What's that costume? Now, as far as I'm aware, you're not allowed to dress up for Halloween Horror Nights, so you shouldn't make any mistakes with sort of who's in character and who's not. But of course, you'll be stopping for food, you'll be stopping for here, you'll be stopping to go left and right. These people want to queue, and yet you'll bump into people from the shipyard. Right, that's the end of the shipyard. As I said, we're going to come back through those later, so stay tuned when it gets a little bit darker. Now this will be the fire show, which is probably why it's on quite late. It's not dark yet. Although sunset's actually 7:10. Still quite bright here in Florida. Still warm as well, as you would expect. Nightmare fuel. We'll see how the evening goes. It's not top on our list to do, but I guess we get fast track for this as well. Now this is one of her good things about Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. Sorry, you have to bear in mind that we started this one at like 7 o'clock to get here for 8. It's already 7 o'clock, so we're on a 12-hour and it's open till 2, so we're doing our best. 55-minute wait, we got fast track. Let's see what this one's about, because I haven't a clue. Here we go, Dr. Oddfellows. From going inside of Dr. Oddfellows to coming out, all of a sudden, it's very dark here at Universal Studios, and you can see Rip Ride Rocket in the background. It does look fantastic with the lights on. So I'm hoping you can see me here. Right, so that was Dr. Oddfellows, and yeah, as I said, we didn't read anything about it, so I didn't know what kind of maze it was. To sum it up, it's a clown maze. And it comes down to what we always say: if you like clowns, you probably won't mind the maze and you'll find it quite amusing. If you don't like clowns, you're going to be terrified. There's a few scenes that stick out in there, because obviously it is sort of demented killer clowns is the best way of putting it. Few scenes that kick out. The first one is a lion. It's a lion sort of semi-animatronic sort of what's the word, puppet, if you will. It looks really cool coming out of a window, and I mean really, really cool. I absolutely loved it as it sort of flew out at you. The next one was just around the corner from that. They were trying to put somebody in a box for a magic trick, but obviously had snapped all their legs and was in the process of snapping their head, putting them in. I quite enjoyed that. And then as you went round the corner again, they've got the old mallet game where you sort of hit as hard as you can to ring the bell at the top, and they've just put a person up against it and completely done their head against the mallet. That was a really nice touch. It was a really nice scene, that was. Doesn't sound a nice scene when I explain it, but it's a really nice scene. And various other ones in there as well. A few little jumps, you know, they are trying to come out of cupboards and things. It is difficult when you're on a full flow sort of walk maze, but yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Just one thing actually on Chucky as well, which I forgot to mention. So when you're standing in the queue line, they play the video from, it's either the latest series or the latest film, I'm not entirely sure which one it is. And you know, it's really quite gruesome, to be honest with you, and he's going around calling everyone names and things, but when you actually get into the maze, it's censored, which is really odd, having to hear beeps coming over the tannoy and beeps on the television screens and things. Doesn't really make sense, so that I don't get. But yeah, all of a sudden got really, really dark. So Darkest Still is just over here with The Last of Us. That's 2 of what we think is the last 3 mazes, with the other one being down past Simpsons Land towards YETI. But I want one of these light up chairs actually. I quite like these light up chairs. The next one I think is going to be Darkest Still, because we're kind of going in order. And then it'll be The Last of Us, which was undoubtedly the second most popular maze here tonight. So there was Dr. Oddfellows, the Grand Circus, and that's sort of a massive queue from there. And then I think this is the one we're in,
which is for Darkest Deal. And again, we know nothing about this. I'm quite sure actually that for people that come here quite a lot or do the research beforehand, it's quite funny because generally when we walk around Full Park, Chesington, let's say Alton Towers, I didn't pay attention, I admit that. We kind of know what's going on, what the mazes are, where they are, and what's happening. We genuinely haven't got a clue whether there's 9 or 10 mazes and which ones we've got left. And that's the beauty of it. Sometimes, it's just nice to do things for the first time. And this is definitely one of them. This is definitely one of them. They move every year, so I can't even remember 2014 when we last come. So this is the Darkest Deal. It looks a bit hillbilly-like if I had to put a guess on it. Bob's Lounge, Star, I don't know, again, it's nice when you come to new places sometimes and you don't do the research because I haven't got a clue, but from the outside I would say hillbilly-ish. Perhaps. I'm going to be completely wrong, aren't I? We'll find out in a minute. What is now a 95-minute queue for The Last of Us. Here we go. I'm not saying I've seen, but here we go. I haven't seen a TV show or played the game. But that is the most brutal queue I've seen today. It is huge, and as far as we're aware, it is just this one as well. I don't think there's another one down here. Might be another one over there. Might be an exit over there for something, but certainly all of this. Oof. Right, let's see what this is about. Right, that's just coming out of The Last of Us there. So we've just done a double one. It is definitely getting busier. We just queued 30 minutes for The Last of Us. But first, Darkest Deal. So this blues singer seems to sell his soul to the devil. Yeah, that's all I got from it. I still think there's a few hillbillies in it, to be honest with you. Again, it's really quite claustrophobic, quite closely put together. It's their own maze, it's not an IP. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. It was weird seeing him sort of singing and dancing around. I didn't really understand it, to be honest with you, but quite enjoyed it. This is going to be our next one, by the way, which is Monsters Unmasked. So we have 2 more left. One of them we're not entirely sure where it is, to be fair. And then that was The Last of Us, and the problem with The Last of Us is I haven't played the games, which I think that was more based on actually than the TV show, to be fair. And I haven't watched the TV show, so I am a little bit in a position where I can't compare it. However, what I will say is it looks fantastic in there. Not only does it look fantastic, it's got really big sets, from like large cars to house fronts to interiors. It's massive in there, massive. Actually, in some areas I'd probably say a little bit too big. Something I always notice when we come to Universal Studios and look at the mazes is obviously they are on film sets, sound stages. So when you look up, it becomes apparent it's a stage. Now in the like tighter mazes where you're walking through woods or you're walking through houses and things, obviously they have roofs. But when you've got quite a lot of outdoor scenes, which The Last of Us has, I believe it's zombie related, survival for freedom, etc., etc., your eye can wander just sort of 10 foot above and just see lights and ceiling, as in soundstage ceiling. So I always find that a little bit of a shame. But once you're kind of in the interior and things, it looks brilliant. Sorry if you can't see me, by the way. Not a lot I can do about that. It's really dark down here. So yeah, it's the sets are huge. It does look fantastic. When you're in the enclosed spaces, it's brilliant. For me, no jump scares in there at all. I'm not even sure they're doing it. They seem to be telling more of a like zombie apocalypse story than they do anything else. But yeah, enjoyed that. So I think this is the queue for Monsters Unmasked that we're passing here. So we've now got to get the other end, find the entrance, get back down here. Right, back out from ET to go back all the way down there again for Monsters Unmasked. There we go. Some of the rides are open as well, including Rip Ride Rocket, which has got some fantastic flashing lights down the side here. It does look spectacular. Also the Mummy's open, Escape from Gringotts is open, which actually wasn't open last time we came for Halloween. That one wasn't open. Men in Black's open. Something else as well. I don't think Simpsons is open today, which is a bit strange. Obviously the Jimmy Fallon queue is being used, so is ET, so that's not open. Stuntacular's closed, all of Minions is closed, which sort of makes sense given that it is an adult event. I mean, whilst
I want to go on Minion Blast.
I can't, sadly. It's good to see some of the rides are open as well. They've got 20-minute queues roughly. They're not certainly as busy as the mazes. But yeah, one left. 5-minute break. Absolutely knackered. And on to the next maze. Right, heading down towards the entrance area. We will catch some of that actually on the way out. Because our last maze is Bloodmoon Dark Offerings, which actually only has a 35-minute wait, so I'm hoping that the fast track's even quicker. Right, no idea what this is about either. Let's do it. I mean, how cool does that look down there?
Halloween Horror Nights 32 here at Universal Studios.
Looking good, looking really, really good.
Right, that's the mazes done. So let's take you through the scare zones at night, and we'll start with the one we did actually pass through earlier, which was the music festival. So again, where people aren't allowed to dress up, you should be able to spot the people that are kicking around, whether or not you come across them. But they do look cool. They do look really, really cool. Oh dear. And this is probably one of the tamer ones. We have walked through the other ones, and the one in particular up by YETI, that was really really dark, a lot of smoke. Well, this seems to be quite friendly, a little bit of music. Probably not as many people kicking around as what we've seen on some of the other ones. Yeah, love it little touches. There are quite a lot of characters, you have to sort of pick them out within the crowd, and then you get absolutely engulfed with smoke. Of course, the music festival bus. And they just appear out of nowhere, as you can see. The hippies loving life. Never saw the arcade here before, but there is an arcade here. And we've got Music Fest as well, look. Head in a bowl of salad. Love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, that's one of the, I think that's probably the lighter one, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a laugh, a bit of fun. That's the music festival. Food and drink is a huge part of this, and there are loads. Electric Death as one of the drinks. There are loads and loads of food and drink options, and to be honest, we haven't really got a chance to go through them all because the event is just so big. But I love these projections which they've done on top of the buildings. Chucky on the left we were here earlier. This is one we did actually look at earlier. This is, I think, popcorn, chili popcorn, which, I mean, it's, I don't know. Chili sauce on popcorn? Someone in the comments. Chili sauce on popcorn. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's for me. Chucky's Pop Dead Popcorn. But as you can see here, it's quite popular. Right, let's head down now to the shipyard. That is the next walkthrough. Right, welcome to the shipyard. Creatures from the sea? I don't really know, to be honest. They're fabulous costumes though, they really are fabulous costumes. I think I blindsided him then, he definitely couldn't see me. So we've got some structures as well which they can come around.
Don't know if there's anyone around this one yet. Love these scare zones, so many people around in them. And the actors sort of hidden and in plain sight at the same time. Absolutely love it. And of course, as we said earlier, it's like shops in the middle of the shipyard. Halfway through the scare zones now, and it is busy here tonight. I don't think tonight's a sellout by any means, but I love the little decoration they put across the building. And then the lights that dash across, that is so cool. Look at the queues. Something else, really is something else. I mean, it's awfully quiet for Simpsons Land, because usually you do the Bartman kicking around and everything, but tonight it's actually closed, which is a bit of a shame. This is certainly the more intense scare zone, I would argue. Very similar to what we've seen in previous years. Quite dark, a lot of smoke, but of lighting.
I think I walked through our haunted house so many times last season that I've gotten like sort of desensitized.
Here is where my search for power and immortality begins. The twisting of nature and beast is but a first step towards becoming the most powerful being in this universe and beyond.
Back in, it just fills up with smoke to the point I can't see, it's not just the camera, and then you just appear back in it when it fills. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I think it's fantastic. The ever popular Mel's Drive-In changes to Dying for Halloween Horror Nights. Does look cool from a distance. And then our final walkthrough, which is the Zodiac. It's obviously based on Signs of the Zodiac. We did have walkthroughs earlier. This is quite freaky as well, to be honest. Some of these are really quite freaky. Much wider than the one we've just been through. I still think the one we've just been through is probably the best. But you might hear in the background chainsaws in this one. You don't really see chainsaws out here very often, to be honest. But sometimes you do. Yeah, funny Black Mark. There's a lot going on in here, and a lot of actors. And that's Zodiac, that is the final scare zone. Right, so it's going to take you back to the beginning and show you some of the celebrations on the way in, and obviously outside as well, before closing out this incredible Halloween Horror Nights. Right, here we are at the entrance area. So these are sort of your welcoming. And of course they do have a opening ceremony every night, which bases around here. And this is where the characters then hang for the rest of the night. We can meet a few of the characters on the way out the park. They're certainly not afraid to use smoke. You can't see a thing. Oh, that's a great mask, that one. Look at that. That is so cool.
That ends our coverage here from Halloween Horror Nights, our first night at Universal Studios here in Florida. And wow, what do we think of that? Well, for me, Stranger Things is absolutely top of the list of mazes. I thought it was incredible, really did think it was incredible. Exorcist was fun, Chucky was fun, Last of Us probably was fun, but I didn't really get it, to be honest with you. And then some of their own mazes as well were quite fun too. The YETI was good fun. The one we've just done, Bloodmoon, was also really good as well. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Darkest Deal was good. And then, yeah, kind of at the bottom of the list, to be honest. The clown maze is not for me. I'm not a massive clown maze fan, not because I don't like them, just because I don't find them particularly scary or really that entertaining. I do think the clown maze is past. And yeah, the Dueling Dragons, which everyone raved about, I was really disappointed with, to be honest with you. I really disappointed with it. Monsters Unmasked was great. That was all based in France. Can't remember if we did a review of it or not. We really did kind of flip between the mazes quite quickly. It had Notre Dame in there, had the American Werewolf in Paris. That was really nicely put together. But what a great night, what a great night. It is one of the world's, if not the world's, premium event for Halloween here. It's not easy to get to, it's not cheap either. As we said, we spent $190 alone just on Fast Track. That doesn't include entry or anything else either. There's a few rides open to go with the event. The food, the drink is absolutely mental. It really is insane just how much they do here, and we don't really have time to look at it all. The event is on from 6 p.m, although it does say 6:30. When you're already inside the park, you can actually start getting into mazes. We found about 5:30, which was really good. But officially 6:30 till 2 a.m. Now looking at it, there has been an average of a 45-minute queue for mazes. And I say average because some of them have been 85 minutes, and actually on the last one that we did, the Bloodmoon, it was probably, actually the people in the main queue got in before we did on the Fast Track. That's how quick it was. And Bloodmoon was it was a difficult one. It was like a possessed, it reminded us a bit of a village actually. Those that go to Extreme Scream Park remind us a bit of the village. It's possessed people really by the moon, kind of sacrificing, and they go around the village inn and they just kill everyone, and in the end it ends in a wonderful church scene, which I really like. It goes for more for jump scares, but it's again some beautiful sets. Yeah, it's hectic in there, it's really busy, but we've had a great night. No, we can't take you in the mazes. If you want to see those, you can go to any of the big YouTubers that cover Florida. You know, they're obviously here for these kind of events, that's what they're here for. But this is a real outside perspective of what we thought of it. Are you coming here for scares? No. I'm really sorry you're not coming here for scares. Are you coming here for atmosphere? 100%. The best we've had, 100%. And are you coming here for theming and coming here for detail and coming here to be immersed in the moment? Yes. Better than anywhere else we've ever been. That is Halloween Horror Nights here at Universal Studios. I hope you've liked it. My name's Adam. This has been UK Theme Parks. We are on tour. If you've liked it, please drop us a like. It means the world to us. Subscribe for more content. We've got more content coming from across the pond. And then, of course, we'll be back home for Halloween. What a busy month October is. We'll see you soon.